You know, the hardest thing that I've ever done is just being a mom. And today is Mother's Day, and what better way to spend this day than spending it with my friend Sarah Todd, who is another mom, you know. So here you go, Sarah, come! Yay!
Happy
Hi,
Mother's
Sarah.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day!
I'm so happy to be doing this with you.
Yes! So how is Phoenix doing?
Oh, you know, every year I keep saying this is the best year. And it just gets better and better and better.
Okay, Sarah, tell me, what are we cooking today?
Today it's about mums having an easy day, so it's a really beautiful, simple pasta. We want it nice and tomatoey. The kids love that. Sneak in a few vegetables and it makes life tasty, delicious and nutritious.
And easier.
Exactly.
That's what we moms want. Get life a little easy. Okay, so I have to tell you guys, she is a single mom and I don't know how you're doing this. She's juggling. Okay, I'm a mom. I know how it is. The juggle is real, right, Sarah?
The juggle is so real, and I think, you know, I've been doing it for so long now, 10 years, traveling back and forth to India and you know, starting a business, being a single mom, finding that balance, and it feels quite normal now, but in the beginning it's definitely tough, and it's more about the mum guilt, to be honest.
Oh my God, we are
The mum
all
guilt.
full of it.
Oh
The
gosh.
mom guilt.
The mum guilt is the hardest part of it all, because we can multitask, we know we can do it, but it's feeling comfortable and okay with doing it. And we have to work, you know, most families, mums and dads need to work, whether they're together or separated, because life's expensive.
Yes. And kids are expensive.
Kids are expensive, you guys, and yeah, it's just the way of life these days.
Yes.
So I think the biggest life-changing part was for me going, you know what, I'm doing what I need to survive and to support my child, and that's what really changed it in my mind, and I don't feel guilty anymore.
That's great. That's how we should, like, I need to adapt that and I need to feel that way. I've still not
Yes.
reached that point yet. So here we are making pasta. So mommies, when you guys are exhausted, it's summer vacations and this is what you should go for and make. That's what Sarah is teaching us. But then
Exactly.
Sarah, tell me, initially, can you tell me few moments in your life where you felt exhausted? Maybe you have work, you have to take care of your kid, you know, school, homework,
Yes.
there's so much happening. Can you share any anecdotes, like what happened, any story of your life that
every day of my life.
yeah,
Like,
you know,
it's
because
the balance.
behind this glamorous person, we are supposed to look a certain way for the camera,
Yes.
but behind this there's a mother who is juggling things.
Yeah.
So tell me, the initial days when Phoenix was a baby,
Yes.
how we used to manage?
I think for me, I've always been a person that liked to be very busy and on the go, but there's these moments where some days you just feel like you can't get up, right? And that happens a lot of the time, but when you're a mum, you have to get up. There's no other option, right? The kids are there, you have to cook, and I don't know, I think my mum's really instilled a lot of good values in me, I think, of, you know, a lot of it is having a really positive mindset, I think is something that's really important and part of being able to push through everything, and realizing that sometimes when things go wrong, not to beat yourself up about it. I think there'll be times when I feel like, you know, you kind of are failing, but it's all part of life. There's ups and downs, highs and lows, and it happens throughout the whole of your life. So to not beat yourself up and really be okay with that. But I mean, with my son is really sweet now. He's now 12. Can you believe? He's about your height as well. So he's a big boy.
She's a mom to a 12-year-old, can you believe?
He's a big boy, but he's just so understanding, and I think communication, like I'll say to him, if I have to go away to India like I have now for this week, I'll just sit him down and be like, babe, like, is there anything that you need while I'm away? You know, I'm only a phone call away, and it's like communication, and he's like, Mom, I'm fine, like, and he has been.
That's the key, right?
Yes.
That has always been the key, like try communicating with your children
Yes.
and they understand.
Yes.
So with my daughter, like I'll be out today all day and I have to sit her down last night and
Yes.
I said Mama will be out all day and
Yes.
you know, she won't be there, and are you okay with that? And she's fine.
Fine.
She's fine.
It's we don't give them enough credit, right?
And just don't give the surprise then.
Yes.
Just communicate.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Give notice and communicate, because honestly, like, it's just, I think we think our kids don't understand as much as they do. I mean, your daughter is 4.
Yeah.
So, but she understands.
Yeah,
and
of
we,
course.
you know, I think a lot of times you get scared to communicate and go, oh, they won't understand. But they do. The kids are really resilient, and it's more our own insecurities rather than the kids.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yes. So we've got lots of veggies in here. So we've got our capsicum, some asparagus, but this is such an easy, simple pasta that you choose what kids like. I think, I get asked a lot of times, how to add more vegetables and, ingredients into kids' diets. But what I realized was pick your battles.
Yes.
Don't force it into every meal. So if it's something that, say you're sending their tiffin for school, give them things that they like. And you don't have to squeeze in vegetables in every single dish if they're not liking that. Make sure you get in the nutrients at dinner when you're there to supervise and to be with them and encourage them to eat. So I think we also put too much pressure on our kids at times.
Yes.
So finding that right moment.
I agree with this. So what does Phoenix like eating at home?
Gosh,
Oh, by the way, Phoenix is 12 and he knows how to cook.
he makes a mean poached eggs, which is one of the hardest things to do. But he is actually amazing at cooking poached eggs. So that's his kind of claim to fame. So I'm going in with some tomato paste now. So you just have to cook this out quite a bit.
Wow.
So also, I think at times, so for me with vegetables, sorry, it's a little bit hot.
Yeah. Can I help?
Yeah, you want to stir?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I should be getting you to do the stirring. You love to cook, so it's fine. I can trust you.
Yeah, I'm used to this. I do this every day.
Yeah.
Being a mommy.
So the other thing is, I think as well, we get scared of things like seasoning. Use a good quality salt. Make sure that it's, like a Himalayan salt is beautiful. It's
rock salt.
Yes,
right?
a rock salt. Use a good quality salt. Our bodies need salt, and so do kids. It helps us to retain water and stay hydrated.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times as parents we think no salt, no butter. Like if kids enjoy flavor.
How can your kid like food if there's no taste in it?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's about the smell.
Yes.
It's about the taste.
Exactly.
It's about how they look
visually. Yes.
Visually, it needs to be appealing.
Yeah, so it's the first sense that hits the plate is your eyes. So I think often I get asked about whether, should we focus on plating or should we focus on flavor? But it's both. You have two plates of food next to each other, one slopped on the plate with things kind of messy off the side, dripping down the side of the plate. And then you have one that's nicely put in the plate, a little fresh herb on top to make it, or maybe not for kids, they don't like fresh herbs, but, something to just make it look appealing to the kids. And if you have to play around with shapes and different things to make it fun for the kids, do it.
I make dinosaur pancakes.
Oh, what? You really do love to cook. You really, really do.
Because I know that will excite her. So I try to keep things exciting for her. So sometimes I tell her I'm going to surprise her and I cook something and and she has been waiting for it. What is the surprise? And then she eats it. She loves it.
See?
And just drizzle some honey.
Fun. It's the fun.
Just make sure your honey is
Yes.
pure honey, and
Exactly.
that's it. The kids love it.
And the other thing is getting the kids involved. I think if you, if a child helps you make dinner, they're most likely going to try it.
Yes.
So if they see what you're putting in, if you're making something like a tomato base like this and they see it's tomatoes, it's, really basic ingredients that they're not scared of, then they'll eat it, right?
Yes,
so it's fine. And then now my secret ingredient. So I'm all for, completely natural, gluten-free, vegan, and, beautiful ingredients that are no artificial flavors or colors. So we've made this Kashmiri tomato sauce. So it's our new brand Hot Toddy. And I love this one for kids because it adds that little bit of flavor from, the chilies, but not all chilies are made the same. It's not about blowing your socks off, right? So for us,
Is it spicy?
Not at all.
See,
not at all.
perfect for kids.
So we have the chili scale on the front as well. So it
Okay.
shows that how spicy they are. So it goes all the way up to
It's not spicy.
a ghost chili as well, which is right, the butchalokia, which is quite spicy. So
That's for us.
yes, exactly. And well,
this
some
for the-
kids.
Should I open
so
it?
yes, you can go for it. So I just like to add a little bit of this because it's really got those beautiful flavors in there, and it brings a little bit of that extra boost of flavor to the dish. And it's really simple. So it's
Is it enough?
Yeah, you can put a little bit more. It's all natural. There's no
perfect.
sugar. It's a really easy way to just add in some flavor into the base of that tomato sauce. We'll pop this on for a second. And just let that one cook out. And then we've also got some gluten-free pasta here as well. So,
Yes.
you know, choose the ones that your kids like to eat, that they, you know, find it easy
Different
to pick up.
shapes that you have,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So what's your
So,
daughter's favorite dish?
Spaghetti.
Ex-
So she likes it because she thinks it's noodles, but it's pasta. So it's she
It's the
loves
fun.
pasta.
Yes.
So I make a creamy sauce pasta for her because she loves cheese.
Oh,
So yeah, she just
wow.
garlic and cheese, and that's it. She's done.
Wow.
She is happy.
Wow.
Okay, tell me,
So,
Sarah.
little bit of
when you
pinch salt.
can you share some moments from your life where you have messed up as a mother and felt guilty? Because we all mess up, you know. But has it ever
Yes.
happened to you?
So there is quite a funny story. So obviously, you know, I've opened restaurants and my son comes to the restaurants all the time, but whenever he's there with me, we're sitting down, like, you know, I sit him down on a table, I bring him food, you know, and I make my meetings or whatever around the time that he's there. So one day I was like, babe, you know, I'm just going into the restaurant. I just wanted you to know that, like, I wanted to explain to him, like, he was quite young. He must have been 7 years old. And I said, wanted to explain to him how the process works, that mummy's going to work. And I said, do you understand that this is work for me? And he said, oh, like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I'm just going to break it down. So I have a restaurant. Patrons come in, they order my food, and then they pay for the food, and that's how I get paid. And he's like, oh, I thought you were doing nothing. What? Like, I'm busting my butt. And, you know, but it's communication. And that's the moment when I realized, oh, like, you know, they don't necessarily understand. Like, does your daughter realize this is work for you?
No,
You're just
so-
cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah,
like,
so
what does
I-
mum do for work? She
What
just
she's-
cooks in the kitchen.
So I told her, so she came and told me that, you know, my friend's mom, she's a teacher. I'm like, oh, that's great. And what does your mom do? She said, she's a doctor. I said, I'm not a doctor. Hello, I'm not a doctor. I am a journalist. No, you are a doctor. So according to her, only the doctor and a teacher
Our jobs.
are jobs.
But it's so true. It's so true. This is the thing. And because she's young, it'll take her a few more years
Yeah,
to
yeah.
realize that
By,
this
I
is
think
work.
By 5 or 6, she will realize that what she's saying. So she was like, my mom, a friend's teacher, a mom is a teacher, and you are a doctor because you go to work.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So cute. Oh,
This is the favorite part, you know, the cheese.
yes, make it nice and
Yeah.
cheesy. Like, it's just simple dishes, and that's the thing. Like, kids go through phases with their palates, you know. There's no, one day you might try Brussels sprouts with them, they dislike them. 3 months later, you might try it, they'll love
Yeah,
it.
it happens all the time.
It's trial, it's, you know, making sure that you reintroduce these, you know, ingredients into
What
the
do you
kids'
do,
lives.
Sarah, when your child suddenly stops eating? Like,
Oh my gosh, he does.
Yeah, my daughter has suddenly stopped eating, and I think it's because the heat in Mumbai.
Honestly, you know, if we go back to the ages of, you know, hunting for our food, right?
Yeah.
We would go days without eating. Our bodies are used to, you know, being able to do this. So I just have this mindset that if they're not hungry and they have energy and they're, you know, active and happy, why force them to eat?
Right?
So my son, he goes through those phases and he is, you know, winning races, you know, running at school, he's a top swimmer, and sometimes he just doesn't need any extra fuel. So I don't force him. And I mean, I'm not an expert, but in my, you know,
Just mom's experience.
yeah, just my
right?
experience, and he's
Yeah.
12 now,
Yeah.
and you know, he's fit, he's healthy, he doesn't really get sick that often. He's got a really positive mood, and you know, he's an angel. And honestly, he goes for, you know, there's days where he literally does not want to eat, and I'm like, okay, babe, you've got to eat dinner, and you need one meal. And if you want to, you know, have a lighter lunch today, then that's fine. But you know, let's plan
meal.
that your dinner is going to be a solid dinner.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's communication, and it's fine. I just don't think that we need to.
Yeah,
it's
my
so
daughter's
hard.
going through that.
We do as adults. It's
Again,
so
the mom
hard.
guilt, you know.
Yes,
I always feel like
it's the
she's
mom
not
guilt.
eating. Like, I'm not doing it right. What am I doing wrong that she's not eating? So every day I make something
The mom
new
guilt.
for her.
No, but that's the thing. You put yourself through so much heartache, so much effort making these dishes, and you just don't need to feel guilty. Like, look at us now. We're in the middle of Mumbai, you know, approaching the peak of summer. It's hot. It's hot. And I don't feel like eating when I'm on the road working, you know, running around, shooting and whatever else. And then I come home and I have a really beautiful, hearty dinner and make sure that I'm, you know, fueled and get my nutrients in, because I think nutrients is important.
Absolutely.
And it's the same thing. It's just communication. Like if you wake up in the morning and your daughter says, like, I don't want to eat lunch, you can say to her, like, babe, I'm happy for you to, you know, have a lighter lunch today, have some fruit, and then you need to promise me that you're going to make an effort at dinner.
There's another problem that we mothers have. We try to force feed our
Yes.
kids. And I have told myself, I have been done that. My parents have done that to me.
Yes. And so now we can't stop eating.
Yeah,
I'm like, I sit there, I'm like, oh gosh, eat everything
overeating.
on the plate, like eat it, polish it up. I'm like,
Because
how do
we've
we?
been told that you have to
Yes.
finish everything in the plate.
And it's not the right mindset. And
yes.
you know, I think that like now when I see food, you just eat until everything's gone. Why not just pack it up, put it in the fridge, eat it the next day? So it's just, it's all a bit of a mental kind of shift that I think is happening with this next generation. And there's a lot more education out there, so they're learning.
Exposure.
Exactly.
We are unlearning.
Unlearning, exactly.
Exactly.
I still can't stop myself when everything's there. I'm on the streets like eating 10 different street food dishes, but
There you go. Perfect pasta for the kids. Lots of vegetables. And cheese. They
Yes.
love it.
the kids
you
will
go.
definitely love it.
Okay, you know, there are times that when I wake up some days, even if it's your job, and I don't feel like cooking.
Yes.
You know, you're exhausted. You had
Yes.
a long day and you have not got enough sleep. Has it ever happened to you that you wake up and you don't feel like cooking?
It
What do you do?
does. It does. I have a repertoire of dishes that are like 5-10 minute dishes that I just whip up for those moments when I don't feel like cooking. And it's also good to like do a bit of prep. So for me, when I'm making a beautiful dish that my son loves, he loves things like meatballs and you know, different curries as well. So I make a bigger batch and I just freeze it. And then on those days when I absolutely am exhausted, I know that there's something healthy and nutritious in the freezer, and I just heat it up and he eats that. And it's,
And also, I feel it's okay to give your kids food that has been left over.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
Of
No,
course.
A lot of mothers obsess over giving fresh food cooked right then and there to the children.
but there's really no difference. You know, we're really lucky to have the facilities that we do with freezing. You know, vegetables, even frozen vegetables, I know people get scared of them sometimes, but they're snap frozen from the moment they're picked off the tree or, you know, picked from the ground. They're packaged and frozen instantly. Make sure.
I do it myself. Like
Yeah.
I take the peas, open the pods, take it
Yes.
out and freeze it
Exactly.
for the rest of few months.
Yes.
And that's absolutely
And the nutrients
fine.
are still there 100%, and you can use those. People get scared of these things.
We just need to be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind
to ourselves. We're
Yes,
balancing
as mothers,
so much.
It's really hard to
It
be a
is.
mom, and hats off to you being
Oh.
a single mom. It
And
must
you
be on the level.
too. But you know what? I'm really lucky. My son's father is very hands-on, and he, you know, does support me as well. So I'm really lucky in that sense. And it's you just find a way to balance. And like I said, for me, the biggest thing is communication with your kids, and just realize that they're resilient. That, you know, the guilt that we have is not something that is real. You know, you have to just step back outside of yourself. If this is your best friend that you're talking to, would you talk to her the same way you talk to yourself?
Yes.
So it's, I think, stepping outside and, like you said, being kinder to ourselves for sure.
Yes. Oh.
And you're amazing. Like, look at everything that you're doing and
Sneaked
balance.
out
Yes.
in the morning just for this interview while she was sleeping.
Oh, I know the things we do,
Yeah,
but you know,
I-
you should be so proud. You're doing so many amazing things. So it's good.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for talking
Thank
to
you.
Happy Mother's
Happy
Day.